Hello.
Hello.
How's everyone?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you, Erica. Glad everything worked out and you're in fine. Hi, Josh. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Kiesia.
Hey.
Everybody doing fine tonight?
Yep.
Good, good. I'm just going to open up the course. Has everybody able to get into Moodle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay.
Let's see who should be in. So we have Erica, Josh, Kiesia, Mickey. Oh, that's all of us. This is our class. Yep, small class, because this class is just for elementary and special ed. So, all right, I wanted to go over a few things in Moodle, just so that everything seems clear. This is the first time I've taught this class online, and I'm teaching it online due to COVID. So if something is confusing or a link doesn't work, because I had put some videos in and I went back yesterday and the links were broken, so I had to take all those out and put in new links. But I think everything works now. So you will notice typically, so this is a 2-credit-hour course, and when I teach it on campus, we meet for 2 hours once a week. Online, I've created 5 modules, okay? And rather than have the course only 2 weeks long, I'm going to keep it open for 3 weeks because I know that some of you are also in the Survey of Special Ed class. And yeah, so you'll have this class and that class together. So just to give you time to work on the assignments and not to rush you, I will keep it open for 3 weeks. However, I don't close, like some online classes, they will only open certain sections so that you have to work at a certain pace. But this is an asynchronous class, meaning that the sessions that we have are, if you can't make it, I record them and then I post them, and it will be posted under, I have to create a new link. I'll create a new category and we'll just say online meetings so that you can look and watch the meeting if you need to rewatch it. If there's something that we review and you want to kind of take a look at the video again, it will be up there. And so if you can't make a meeting, don't worry about it. It will be recorded. Oftentimes I'll talk about concepts, or when I give feedback on certain assignments, I'll say this would be something interesting to talk about. Why don't you share this idea with the class the next time we have an open meeting? So some of those kinds of things. So the first part is basically just an introduction to good teaching. Now this course is emergent literacy and reading. So it's geared for kindergarten through 2nd grade. So you will notice that in the assignments, I'm asking you to focus on that particular age group, so that, because then the next class that you have, which is the 517 course, will be taught in January, and that course will focus on 3rd through 5th grade, okay? I'm working on a PowerPoint now about phonics, and I'll post that as soon as I finish it, but I think most of all the rest of the stuff is up there, and you all have the syllabus, correct? Now, the syllabus, when we met on campus, it says day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. Just ignore the days. Really, the best thing to do is to just follow the Moodle page, okay, about assignments, because that's really what you need. That's what I'm going to be grading, is the Moodle stuff. And you'll notice that when you see like the little hand and there's a piece of paper coming out of it, that means that's where you have to post an assignment, okay? And what I tried to do was to write the description and show you the description so that you kind of knew what it was. So we have this book. Whoops, little sticky note. I live by sticky notes. So we have this book. We have, and I don't think I have the other two books up here because I came upstairs because I've been doing training all morning. The dyslexia book. Now, we are not going to read the entire dyslexia book, right? Overcoming Dyslexia, but hold on to that book because I will use it in subsequent classes, or we will also use that book when you're student teaching, okay? So, and really all of the books that we choose, when we're choosing books, we try to use books that you as a future teacher can use in your classroom. So you want to probably hang on to these. Even if you try to sell them back, they're not going to give you much return for your money because they were not really expensive books anyway. I know that the one class that you'll take next spring is the law class. And I used to have a textbook for that class, but that textbook got to be about $250. And I'm like, you don't need to buy a $250 school law book. So now I just use online resources for you to read. And that's what I've done here. If you go through the modules, for instance, what I've done is I start every class reading a children's book to the class. So I've recorded some children's books of myself reading. So just be tolerant of my use of the video technology. One video has me trying to straighten my sweater, and you know, it's like a mirror image, and it's hysterical, but I tried to get rid of it and it was too much work. I said, oh, they'll just laugh at me trying to straighten my sweater. But then, so for each module, I'm reading a children's book to you, and I flip-flop back and forth between being the teacher reading the book and being the instructor of this class, giving you tips on reading aloud to children and those kinds of things. In module 1, there's also a engineering design brief that typically what we often do in this class is it's a way to connect literature in an interdisciplinary way. And there's an organization that I always go to every year. Of course, I'm not going next year because of COVID. It's usually in October. But I usually take a couple of students with me to share their engineering design briefs. But of course, we won't be able to do that. But go to the Virginia Children's Education Council webpage. They have lots of good information on there, and they have a lot of different engineering design brief examples, okay? And really didn't I put that on there? I want you to do, oh, it's just down. What I want you to do is to choose a story and create your own engineering design brief. It's a very simple process, as you will see. It's typically 1 page, maybe a page and a half. I have a video that I made for you that should help you with that process. And where did it go? I had it on here yesterday. Well, I'll have to look for it because I did the video 2 nights ago. All right, I'll find it. But I'm just kind of going through the engineering design brief process for you. And then also in module 1, I want you to take a look at the Virginia Standards of Learning, okay? It's going to be really important when you're student teaching that you are familiar with accessing the Virginia Standards of Learning. And I have given you the grade 1, kindergarten 1 and 2. They're posted online, okay? And okay, so I want you to look at those standards, go through those standards, and focus on the standards for reading, okay? And then I want you to pick one standard and post some ideas of how you might teach that standard, okay? And that's basically what you're doing on that particular assignment. And then when you do the readings for the textbook, typically I'll say post your notes here. Now some people like to type their notes. Some people really prefer to handwrite your notes. It doesn't matter to me if you post type notes or if you post pictures of handwritten notes. It's just basically, I want to make sure you're getting the key concepts, because the final exam is open book, open note. And so your notes are going to be very helpful to you. And then also your notes are going to be helpful when you take the RVE, the Reading for Virginia Educators test that you have to take. So all elementary and special ed teachers have to take the RVE. And the RVE is a test. Do you know how to teach reading? Do you understand phonics? Okay. So you want to make sure that you're familiar with all of those things. And it might be helpful for you to go to the Reading for Virginia Educators website and look at some of their sample tests to begin prepping yourself. Our students usually don't have a problem with that test, but you're not going to take it until after you take Professor Parker's class, okay, which is in January. So that's the only test you don't take until after you student teach your first time, okay? So I tried to post a picture of the textbook when you had an assignment in that textbook. So you'll see the picture of the textbook, and underneath that is the reading assignment, okay? Then module 2 is a module that focuses on phonological awareness and phonics. And it starts off with a read along. It's not me, it's actually Michelle Obama reading to you. She does read alouds for children. So I found one I thought was really interesting. And then the Virginia Department of Education, and when you start student teaching, you are going to hear elementary teachers grumbling about this. I posted the Virginia Department of Education's new position on reading instruction, and it is very different. So I don't know if you haven't been in classrooms, leveled books have been very popular, and schools have ordered leveled books for every grade level. It's usually a big closet full of all kinds of leveled books. Well, the Virginia Department of Ed came out and they said no more leveled books. So teachers are not going to be happy when all of this comes out. They have had some professional development on the new approach to reading, and both Professor Parker and I went to a meeting in Richmond. It was a day-long training on this new approach to reading. It's very focused on phonics. I'm a little worried, and they kept saying during this training, phonics does not mean drill and kill. Phonics does not mean worksheets. But teachers are so used to teaching phonics through worksheets that I'm very worried that that's what's going to happen in schools. Children are going to start getting worksheets after worksheets. I know Kiesia is very familiar with this, that our program does not advocate the use of worksheets. In fact, we prefer and highly recommend that whatever activities you design to match your learning objectives are not worksheets, okay? And the reason for that is that the research that I've done on the use of worksheets, if you think about it, worksheets are assessments. When you give a student a worksheet, you are assessing what they already know. So think about that. Every time you give a child a worksheet, it's an assessment. And when my son was in 3rd grade, I did a little, I think I told this story to some of you already. I did a little study on my own, and I counted the number of worksheets that he did every week. And I calculated that he had 12 minutes a day of instruction from the teacher, because he would come home with 40 worksheets a week. So when I calculated, if you take out lunch and gym and music and transitions, into the classroom, transitions out of the classroom, 12 minutes a day. That's how many worksheets. I'm not a big believer in worksheets. So in this class, you're going to get two different philosophical approaches. You're going to get the phonics, phonological awareness approach, and then when you read one of my favorite books, Reading Without Nonsense by Frank Smith, and that's the black and red book, that is going to be exactly the opposite of phonics. He has a very different take on how children learn how to read. Okay, so what I've done with that book, and I'll get to that when we get to module 3, but so in module 2 we do the phonics, we do the phonological awareness. You're going to look at the Virginia Department of Education's new position on reading, and we'll talk about that next Monday when we meet. Is this a good time for everybody? 7:30? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Okay, so we'll just meet on Mondays at 7:30. And remember, if you ever want to meet more, if you have questions, you can schedule a meeting with me, or I can say, I've had lots of questions about the 6 different types of syllabication. So I'm going to jump on tonight and go over those, and you can just jump on if you want to, okay? So you'll see a multi-step phonics lesson. What I tried to do, because we're not in the classroom and I can't model this for you, is I tried to find videos of teachers using some of these approaches. So that's what a lot of the videos are. It's not me lecturing. And then module 3, I did a read aloud for you, Solway, and then that module is on reading and writing instruction. I'm a big believer in integrating both reading and writing together, and we'll talk about that. You'll see some videos of teachers integrating. The Annenberg site has a lot of great resources for teachers, so that's where I got a couple of things from there. And then unfortunately, one of my favorite activities in this class is we go over the stages of writing, and I will probably do a little talk on those. That was part of my dissertation research. So I'm very familiar with the stages of reading, and I did my dissertation in a blended kindergarten, first grade classroom, which was very, very interesting. And then what you all used to do was to go out and find a student, find a child, either in grade, a pre-K child, kindergarten, first grade, or second grade, and you would have them write a story for you. And then you would use the stages of writing documents that I provided, and then you would evaluate their writing sample. And a lot of the faculty on campus volunteered their children for this assignment, but of course we cannot ask students to have any interactions with anybody outside their home. So we will just talk about the writing samples, and I'm going to try to go out and find some writing samples. I think I might be able to pull some from my dissertation research, but we'll talk about those and kind of go over those. And then maybe when we're back on campus, we can include a writing sample in one of the other courses. Then we have the Frank Smith book, and each of you, if you have Moodle open, you will see that under the book Reading Without Nonsense, I have 8 chapters, and there are 4 of you. So I would like you to choose 2 chapters. And I guess probably the easiest way, really the easiest and fastest way, because it doesn't really matter. Who would like to take chapters 1 and 2? Volunteers?
I don't have my book yet. I have the research-based method one, but the other 2 won't be here till next week.
Okay, we'll put you at 9 and 10 then.
Perfect.
Okay. How's that, Erica? So
Perfect.
Erica will take chapters 9 and 10.
I'll do 6 and 7.
Who said that?
Me.
Okay. All right, so Kiesia. We'll have 6 and 7.
And I'll do 4.
Mickey, was that you?
Yeah, it was.
I missed that. You'll do what? 4 and 5?
Yeah.
You're breaking up a little, so it's hard for me to hear. Use your finger.
Sorry, my internet is awful.
4 and 5. Gotcha. Thank you. All right. So, and
I guess I'll do 1 and 2 then.
okay, and it doesn't matter. So Josh will do chapters 1 and 2. So it's not a live thing, right? So basically, I just want you to create a way to share the key points of the chapters that you read. You can do whatever you want. You can create a PowerPoint. You can record yourself talking about your chapters. You can create a review sheet for us. You can do a Zoom meeting with me and I'll record it. If you want to write, just be as creative as you want. However you want to present the information, you can present it. Does everybody know how to, Zoom is free. Is everybody familiar with Zoom?
Yeah.
And how to record and download on Zoom?
I am.
Okay. Or you can do it in Google Meets as well and download on Google Meets, I think. But think of a way, if you need help with Zoom, just let me know, okay? And we can figure that out if you want to do a Zoom presentation. But you can basically present anyway, and then you're going to send it to me and I will post it under this chapter. So I guess the best way is to email me, unless you can download it. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can download Zoom directly into the Moodle page. If you can't, just email it to me and I'll figure it out. So try to post, like if you do a PowerPoint, you can post your PowerPoint right into Moodle, right? If you have trouble posting something, just let me know and I'll help you. Okay. All right, and then Reader's Workshop is a good way to teach reading, which I really like. And then you kind of just go and post those. And then that's your first reading of Overcoming Dyslexia. You're going to start with chapters 3 and 4. That doesn't seem right. Let me see. No, that's in the wrong place. I'll have to fix that. No, I guess that's right because I did go through. I just have to post the picture. So you're reading chapters 1 and chapter 3. And then your next reading is chapter 2 and chapter 4. And I need to fix that because that is wrong. Okay. Okay. And the dyslexia book is new this year. I have not used it in this class before, so I'll be curious to see what you think about it. The Virginia Department of Education now requires us to include more information on how to teach students with language-based learning disabilities, including dyslexia. That was my, I've been on sabbatical for a year, and that's my sabbatical project. I'm trying to write a book on working with children with dyslexia. So it's moving slowly. I've been interviewing students and parents. Okay, and then, oh, that's it. Okay, so then the module 4, wait, something's not right as I'm looking at this. Oh, that's module 5. Okay, so module 5 is specifically working with students with dyslexia and English language learners. I just have to renumber it. If you're paying attention, you can see me modifying this. Okay, so that should give us 5 modules. Oh, okay, module 4, running records. Now, this is going to be interesting to see how this goes totally online, because usually I do running record part 1 and 2 in class with you together. Anybody done running records before?
No.
Okay. She's really good at explaining things step by step. Actually, she models it for you. So this is why I like it. There are 16 parts to this, and they're about 5 to 10 minutes each. So all 16 parts, that's going to take you about 2 hours. Do not sit down and do all of this in one sitting. Your brain will be fried, okay? But before you do the running record, you want to download, and where did they go? Oh yeah, where it says download and print the 2 Word documents, and there are one document and it's below that picture. So the picture, that's the picture of a running record, okay? So there's a blank running record template, and then there's the packing story for analysis. And you want to print those before you start, and I'm trying to open them, before you start, oh, this is the wrong, okay. Oh, this is for boring old bed. I'll have to put up the one for the packing story. Let me see. Because she's doing the packing story. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right, I will need to download a blank, the running record for the packing story. So I'll fix that. And then there's the textbook on the research-based reading methods. Okay, and module 5 focuses on students with dyslexia and ELL. Okay, then another big component of this is your annotated bibliography, which might not work. I don't know if the libraries are open. I know ours is not. And I don't think the public libraries are open.
I don't think they are.
Okay, so you can't do that assignment. I will just take that out. Yeah. Due to COVID, you don't do this assignment.
That's the literature annotated bibliography.
Yeah, it's just you read a variety of children's books appropriate for grades K through 3, just to give yourself a little taste of children's literature so that you can talk about it in an interview, so that you have a repertoire as a teacher, as the kind of things to look for, right? Can you determine the appropriate grade level? And can you think of activities to integrate the book into the classroom? But you won't be able to do that here because you can't get to a library.
Do you think we'll be able to do that in the fall sometime?
Yeah, I'll try to blend it into another class. Yeah. I'm just putting a note on this. Okay. All right. So, and then there's a take-home exam. And I haven't posted it yet because I haven't written it yet. I'll write it once the class is over, just so I know what we've talked about and feedback I've gotten from you, and it'll be mostly based on the readings and on the videos, your observation of different types of things, anything that we've talked about in class. And usually what I do is little mini case studies. Like I say, okay, you have a child, and the child you observe the child reading a book, and here are some of their errors that they're making, right? What might you do as a teacher? What do you think about this? Or you know, I might say something like, you have a child who's a reluctant reader, but the child is really good about expressing their ideas and is very interested in fishing. What might you do as a teacher to engage that child in the reading and writing process, right? Those kinds of things. Might ask you some phonics questions. I will tell you, here's my bias. I'll tell you up front, I'm not a phonics person. I don't like phonics. I have 2 children who are dyslexic, and they tried to teach both of my children through phonics, and it was a dismal failure. In fact, with my son, they use the Wilson Reading Program, which is, and you're going to see some lessons that are out of Orton Gillingham, which is a multi-sensory approach to teaching reading. And it's a lot of phonics, and it's a lot of word. There's a lot, and they're great strategies. I really like the Wilson program. Neither one of my children could learn through phonics. So I taught them how to read at home using my own it was a multi-sensory approach. We worked on spelling through multi-sensory approaches. But I will share with you phonics. I can teach phonics. I've taught through the phonics methods before. I guess the best thing to think about teaching reading is an integrated approach to reading. Okay, so you need to know phonics. Virginia is going to be focused on phonics. When you're interviewed at the end of the year, the principals are going to ask you, can you teach phonics? What do you know about teaching a multi-sensory approach to reading? And so I've updated a lot of things I use in this class, the video clips, to focus on that multi-sensory approach, so you have the beginning repertoire of doing that. And you'll get more of that in the schools, but you are going to get a lot of leveled books in the schools. Just know that during an interview, that's not what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking to see are you up to date on the new reading approach in the state of Virginia. Okay. And we'll keep you up to date as we were supposed to go to JMU for a 2-day training. That was canceled. And then I was supposed to go to UVA for another all-day training, and that was canceled on this new reading. So they might push it back a little bit until the teachers and the college people can get a grasp on how they want all of this to flow forward, but it's coming. All right. Okay, questions for me. I've thrown all that information out.
I have a few.
Okay, go ahead.
Figuring things out. So you said this was a 3-week class. Did I hear that right?
I will keep it open for 3 weeks. If you want to finish it in 2 weeks, I'll grade everything in 2 weeks.
So everything, there's no like specific due date. You just need to finish it, everything.
Yeah. I don't usually give due dates at the graduate level. At the undergrad level, and I teach courses, I do. But at the graduate level, students basically tell me it's just better for me to clip along at my own pace.
Okay.
And as long as you're making progress, that's fine. If you're not making progress, I will email you and say, hey, I haven't received any assignments from you. And the thing that you can't expect, right? Don't post everything on the last day. Yeah. And I have 2 days to get your grades in. That's probably not going to make me happy. But as long as you're making progress in the assignments, and I, go through and check assignments and try to give feedback. I'm also, my philosophy especially in this reading class, I don't expect you to be experts. Mm-hmm. What I expect you to do is read the research, try to understand what you're talking about, right? This is not a class. I expect you to be able to use this information and keep honing your skills in the teaching of reading. There's no way in a 2-credit-hour class you're going to learn how to teach reading to kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. Impossible, right? So my grading is not really, I don't know, I don't want to say it's not rigorous, but it's more of, are they giving me enough detail? Give me detail. If you have questions, ask questions, and then make sure that you know enough so when you go into the classes in the fall, you can bring in this coursework into those classes. Okay, so especially when you take your methods courses. Of course, reading is woven. That's why elementary is so hard, because elementary and special ed, you've got to remember all these different strategies and all these different subject areas. And you've got to be able to weave reading into everything that you do as a teacher, right? It's not just we have reading for an hour and a half. That's usually what reading is now in the schools. They chunk it to about an hour and a half. And then we're finished with reading. But to integrate it, throughout the entire day.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, good question.
And then something else, sorry. So this is the only book I have right now. The other,
Okay.
they emailed today and said it'll be here at the end of next week. Is it okay if I don't have to start from module 1? Can I jump around and do?
Yeah, you can jump around. Just send me an email and say, hey, I finished this. I'm working first. Just remind me what you're working on so I can jump down, so you don't say, well, I read that chapter a week and a half ago and she hasn't said anything about it.
First, not one, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And I looked online to see if I could get the Reading Without Nonsense, like open source, but it's not open source yet.
Okay.
And neither is the Overcoming Dyslexia. Of course, that's a brand new book that she just came out with. If you go to Amazon, I think you can read the first chapter in Overcoming Dyslexia on the Amazon site.
Oh, okay.
It says, look inside the book.
Okay.
I think they have pretty much the entire first chapter.
Okay. I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. You can catch up. And because I know you just joined, they just got you processed. So if it goes, I don't have to have grades in until the end of the 511 class, which ends at the end of July. So if don't panic if you're behind because you just jumped in. Just let me know and I'll
keep you posted. And
I can wait on that. And if something happens, if emergencies happen, please just let me know so that I can adjust the time frame for you. Yeah, this class is pretty flexible, since the class that this is replacing is a 3-week long class.
Is it the same class? It's just like adjust.
No, we run a summer school program.
Okay.
Usually at this time. And so we have a partnership with Big Island Elementary School. And I have it worked out with the principal where I go in and another faculty member goes, and we are the faculty of record. And the grad students are actually the teachers in the classroom. So I usually pair 2 students together and they work with a group of children.
Oh.
So you're developing lesson plans, and it's we don't call it summer school, we call it summer camp because we want it to be fun. You're not allowed to use worksheets. Everything has to be hands-on, interactive, creative, and it's a really great experience. I'm disappointed we can't do it this year, but the principal at Big Island said that he would allow all of you to go to that school for the practicum. It'll be different. I really like it because we can do whatever we want and we don't have to follow the teacher, right? And their pacing guide and all of that. And you get a chance, the grad students really get a chance to test out their creativity and engage the children in some really fun types of activities. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
He said maybe if they open in August, we could try to go in August, but that really just depends. Like a lot of people are doing vacation plans and stuff for August. So we'll see how it works out.
Did the governor make an announcement yet?
No, he was supposed to the other day and he did not. Instead, he was responding to the George Floyd and the protests and things. So he has not. Somebody said maybe tomorrow.
Okay. That's all I have, I think.
Any other questions? No? Okay, like I said, if you see anything that seems wacky, just let me know and I'll go in and fix it. This is a hard class to teach online, but I think I've given you some good videos and some good modules to hang your hats on.
Mhm.
Email me anytime. If I don't hear from you, we'll meet next Monday, same time, same place. And we will talk a little bit about the SOLs, the design brief next time. Maybe some of the SOLs and the first 2 chapters of the research-based methods of reading instruction. Okay, so have some key points you'd like to share and discuss next Monday.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Can't wait to see everybody in person. Got an email today. They're still working to be on campus, so I think we're going to be good to go. We might have, we'll probably be in masks, but I think we can all fit into one room and stay apart. So we'll be good to go. All right, take care. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Night.
Night.